Welcome back, everybody. Today, I'm pushing all the negative out, and we're gonna get this car running today. Fingers crossed. Now, I've been working on it, and the other day I went to go fire this thing up, and the first thing I had to do was test the fuel system. Always test your fuel system before you try to fire this. There's a lot of fittings on this fuel system, and any one of them can leak. You could have caught a line somewhere and put a hole in it. You just don't know. But you don't want that thing running and fuel is spraying everywhere when you're in your garage. Period. You don't want to burn the car down, you don't want to burn your house down. Oh, I went to go do that. Pump sounded really weird. Took it out. It don't fucking work. It don't pump. I don't know what happened. AEM's got a ton of bad reviews on their pumps. A lot of people love them. A lot of people hate them. I don't know. I went and picked up a brand spanking new one. Local guy had it, thank God, so I didn't have to take a week to figure this all out. Looks like it's got some coating on it. It's got, I gotta swap over these fittings, stick this thing in, and God pray that it pumps fucking fuel. I flipped the ignition in the thing and it just was like, no fuel pressure, no fuel pressure. What are you doing? There's no fuel pressure. Oh man, Cosmoline, what the hell is that? Anyway, I don't know if I would actually recommend this pump to anyone. Fucking thing stinks. Good Lord, that thing stinks. So anyway, we're going to stick this in. If I end up having a problem with this one, I'll probably just put like a Bosch 044 in it and go from there. I gotta get the fittings out of this one. I'm tempted to pop this thing open and see. It got really hot yesterday. I wasn't running it abnormally long or anything stupid like that. I mean, I would try something and I would let it run for 10 seconds to see if it would pump fuel. I mean, something like this should pump a lot of fuel and it should pump it up very quickly. It's 400 liters per hour. Well, I already uploaded the tune into the Dominator. My buddy Dave sent me the file last night. I uploaded that, made sure everything was set up and good to go, which it seems like it is. Now, let's put this back in the car and try to put some heat in the pipes, shall we? We're gonna put power to it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump out the fuel pump relay so I don't have the ECU or anything on. Yay! We got 55 pounds of pressure. Now let's start checking fittings. Probably put a little bit more fuel in there. All right, I think I did all right. I'm gonna prime it a bunch of more times just to double check everything. See what happens. Okay, I went in and did the TPS auto set, which won't allow your Holly to fire, so you don't really want to skip that set. Shuts down the spark plugs or fuel pump. Completely forgot about it. Let's try it again now, shall we? Puffing and puffing. Well, whew, it runs, that's for sure. It sounds way different. It's idling through the fucking roof. I thought it was maybe the idle screw on the throttle body, because I remember turning it up on the MS3. That it was not. As you saw, the smoke from the ceramic coated header is getting hot for the first time. Wow. Well, it runs! Beautiful! I should have checked the oil pressure. I didn't see what the oil pressure was. But, I'm a happy man today. It fucking fired. It lit up. I just got to figure out why it's idling at 2,500 RPMs. Alright, we've been, trying to get this thing running correctly. And it's been fighting us, giving us big balls. And put a tune-up in it, logged it, and looking at it, and it needed 40% more fuel to get the air fuels right. You need 40% more fuel idle, something's wrong. So today, I came down here, and what I did was, I put this contraption on the end of my intake tube, which was bolted to my throttle body. And what it is, it's just a PVC cap, PVC 4-inch Fernco like plumbing wing, and I have a regulator screwed in with a gauge. Just tighten it down. You don't need to go, this is checking for leaks, so you don't need to go crazy. 3-4 pounds on the gauge, 5 pounds. And what I did was I started spraying everything on the intake track with soapy water in a spray bottle. And lo and behold, I find a giant leak. And what had happened is what it looked like is that this gasket, there's a rope gasket in here that got pinched somehow, some way. I think it was just a touch too long. So when I bolted it all down, it got pinched and it pushed out. So I had a giant leak on this side of the intake. I'm not going to buy another rope gasket. What I'm going to do, Honda Bond, baby. You can't beat this stuff. This stuff is the best crap you can buy. And I'm just going to put a thin coat of Honda Bond in here. The first things I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can tap threads into this lower and put these bolts in from the upper, which I don't know if I'll be able to do. I got to see what size will fit this. So I don't have to take the whole goddamn intake manifold off to get the top off. I believe these are metric. I believe these are M6. But I'm not going to be able to tap to M6. I think you got to go up to M8 unless I go standard and find something in the standard area. But I don't know. You know, do I have enough? Because like if you see on this one, it's super duper close to the edge. Yeah. There's a couple like that. So can I even open this up too? It doesn't look like it. I think we'll just leave it alone. I think I've gotten so good at taking this intake manifold on and off. I had it off in 15 minutes. The upside is I could just walk into the engine bay with the bumper off. dealing with these iPhone storage issues and computer issues, everything's just got so jumbled and so messed up. I left you guys with it running and you could hear it start to surge. I had some leaks, idle control air issues, but we got it all figured out. For the most part, it's a driver. It can drive. I pulled it outside. My buddy Dave came up and played with the tune and got it all straight. Idle's great. Everything's great with it. Now it's going to be tying up all the odds and ends. Hopefully my intercooler end tanks come this week and I can get those welded on and get the intercooler in the car, because once the intercooler in the car and the bumper's mounted, we can start driving this thing. It's good to drive. Well, that's huge. And once I can start driving it, I gotta go find a place to get my cage certified ASAP, go make my license passes ASAP, and then we can start working on all the little bitty things here or there, like my oil feed line laying on my downpipe. Because I had to change it, it was leaking oil, so I had to put a different fitting on it. Write that on the list. But, I mean, you can see how much we've knocked out. And it's running great. I put that new Power Master alternator in there. It's 165 amps instead of the 100 amps that was in there. And one fuel pump and both fans on this thing drops to like 14.2 at idle and comes back up to 14.3. And we had both come on at 185 and it was just dropping temp. It started to rain, so we pulled the car in, and when I shut the car off, we were all the way down to 169 degrees and dropping. So I'm sure that thing's going to be freaking great. I can't wait to get up on the highway with it. Well, I'll end this here. That's all that. The next couple of videos are going to be building the Hot Rod Drag Week 2020 trailer, budget build trailer. We're going to go over a whole bunch of that and how that's going to get all situated. So stay tuned, guys. Get in your garage, grab a cold beer, get to work on your hot rod.